going on, everybody? Happy Monday and happy Memorial Day. I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday weekend, getting some sun, spending some time with family. Um, welcome welcome to my new prep series, which will be on YouTube, brought to you by my sponsor, True Nutrition. So, we are currently 8 weeks out from the Chicago Pro. Now, for those of you that have been following me, I did the Indy Pro and the New York Pro this year. At the Indy Pro, I came in 9th place. In New York, well, a week later, we did the New York Pro in Tampa, and made drastic changes and improvements to my physique. We dropped about a 6.5, had a 6.5 pound drop going into the New York Pro, came in a lot sharper, a lot drier, and went from 9th place, third call out, to 4th place, first call out. So dramatic change, dramatic improvement, very happy with that. But I am not satisfied. I am better than that, and I need to continue to seek out those continued improvements and live up to what I know I am capable of, right? So coming out of the New York Pro, I had to kind of sit back and reflect. I like to sit back and reflect on things and how the show went, how the shows went, what we did nutrition-wise, supplement-wise, training, big consideration there, and just figuring out what is the best route to take to make sure that each time I step on stage and the next time I step on stage, I'm better, right? So what it pretty much came down to was I felt like I needed to kind of go back to my roots a little bit in terms of the lower volume, higher intensity approach, while incorporating a lot of the intensity techniques that I had been doing previously. I feel like having gone the low volume approach and the high volume approach, my body definitely responds better overall to the lower volume approach, 2 working sets per movement. Now, that being said, when I say respond, I'm also, I'm referring to the way that the body recovers and is able to adjust to the training in terms of strength progression, fat loss, muscle gain, all of those things. And I felt like, so I say all that to say, if you are eating enough, you are going to recover adequately. That's pretty much what it comes down to, and you'll be able to sustain the amount of training that you're doing if the nutrition is there to match and help you recover. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the lower volume approach in terms of lower volume per session works really well for me. And if I do want to increase volume, the best way for me to do that is to increase volume through training frequency, not necessarily increasing the volume within the session, right? I don't recover as well in that regard. So that's the approach that we're taking. So right now, so basically I had to sit down with my coach, Will Castillo, at Prep by Will on Instagram, and with Anastasia, my fiance, I like to consult with them after a show and get their thoughts and feelings on things, and it really helps me to figure out what the next decision is, what the next best decision is in terms of the next move. And we all agreed that Chicago Pro was the next move. And mentally in my head, so the options were Puerto Rico, Chicago, Tampa Pro, and the new show coming out this year, the Texas Pro, which is a week after Tampa. So it was pretty obvious that if I had picked Puerto Rico, I would not have had enough time to make the improvements that I wanted to make and to let my body recharge and recover. So that was off the table. So Chicago was the next best move. Mentally, I am prepared to pretty much run the gambit and do all three shows, the Chicago, Tampa, and Texas. And the reason for that is if anything different happens and I end up winning, then great. Then we're ahead of schedule, right? But I'm prepared to have to do whatever it takes. I'm getting to the Olympia no matter what I have to do. So so you could end up seeing a whole lot of me or a little bit less than a lot. We'll see what happens. But I'm putting my best foot forward and my best effort to make sure that I am in the best position to win. Now, so what we did, I'll start with nutrition. Compartmentalize everything. It makes it easier for me to make sure that I'm thorough in explaining to you guys what's going on. So nutrition, we started a reverse diet right out of the New York Pro. Calories went up considerably. That first week, I don't want to say I took off, but it was definitely a more relaxed approach to the diet. If I wanted to have something, I had it. So it wasn't like, I'd get, so if I have 6 meals a day, 5 of them would be spot on perfect, and then the one would be an off meal of some sort, something that I wanted, but that I knew would digest well. So pizza is a big thing for me. I love sushi, and there's a diner right down the street from where I live that has the bombest pancakes ever. So that's pretty much what my off meals revolved around. Then, so I got up to 232. I was about 208 on stage. Got up to 232 as of last Sunday, and then got 110% on the reverse on Monday. No off diet meals, and got down to 221. And then my weight started kind of creeping back up again on its own. I think my body was starting to reacclimate to the higher calories, or who knows. But anyway, weight came back up. Right now I'm around 226. So I think my body's starting to really settle in to this weight, and I think it's going to start coming back down again soon. That being said, that brings me to the cardio. We ramped the cardio back up this week. I was doing 30 minutes 5 days a week. Now I'm doing 40 minutes 5 days a week. That might go up to 6. We'll see. Food is very, very slightly decreased. I'm barely gonna feel it. That's how much of a decrease it was. So, but still should elicit some change. I'm sure we'll be ramping it up full force again within the next week or so. Just because I know how my body works. Then again, you know that every single prep is different than the last. So sometimes you have to push a little bit harder in order to get the result that you want, and sometimes you can kind of pull the reins a little bit and still get the same result. Sometimes your body cooperates and sometimes it doesn't. But you monitor all of your health markers, keep track of all your biofeedback markers, and you just try to stay on top of your general health and make sure you're in the best position to get through a contest prep in the healthiest fashion possible, and make sure that your body is in a position to be the most responsive. Training, like I said, going back to a lower volume approach, so maximum of 2 working sets per movement. What I am doing is right now, because I'm recovering super well and I'm really digging back into my training. I'm training 6 days a week. So I'm doing legs, push, pull, legs, push, pull, and legs. The first leg session, which is today of the week, is posterior chain. So there's going to be some back in there as well, just a little bit, probably like 3 sets of back in there. But both leg days will be hamstring focused. I don't really need more quad right now. And the other thing too is I do all my cardio almost on the stair mill. And the amount of cardio that I usually have to get up to in order to get in shape, I get a lot of quad work as it is. So I won't necessarily need more from a weight training perspective in order to maintain that. If anything, that would probably be detrimental, and I'll end up wearing them down, which is what we don't want. However, as Joe Bennett, hypertrophy coach, said to me when we trained together last week, was you've never seen anyone lose a show because their back or their hamstrings were too big. So I have a poignant focus on those two things. So that's where the extra back day comes in on Wednesday, which would normally be a rest day. But there, I'm only doing six sets of back, and then a little bit of biceps because I could always use more arm, in my opinion. So that's how we're approaching things from a training perspective at this current juncture. I'm sure as the food comes down, I will have to adjust that split, and I will be training less days per week. I will never lower the load that I'm moving, not intentionally anyway. Obviously, you lose strength over the course of a prep, but I will never intentionally do lower weight, higher reps at all. My goal is always to get stronger across all rep ranges, but I'm not going to make a conscious decision to not try to progress in the amount of load that I'm able to move within a given rep range. That's just not, first of all, it makes the prep way less enjoyable for me, and two, there's no way I'm not going to be able to progress the way I want to or maintain the muscle that I need to maintain while on a deficit. So that's that. Obviously, supplementation provided by True Nutrition. I already have my True pre-workout mixed and ready to go. I also added some D-ribose powder from Gerald Formulas, and I also added glycerol monostearate to help with fat metabolism and energy metabolism, also from True Nutrition. And then I have powdered muscle ready to go, which is my Intra Blend. 35 grams of carbs, 11 grams of protein per scoop. I got 2 scoops in there. I got the True EAA Plus. I got a scoop of that in there. Got some more glycerol monostearate and 5 grams of creatine monohydrate. Oh, and I have 10 grams of creatine monohydrate in my pre-workout. So those are ready to go. I took all of my vitamins for the day. I had a second round of all of that, of the vitamins, general health stuff tonight. So I do 2 rounds of all of my general health supplements. And let's see. I think that's everything. I think that's everything that I wanted to cover as far as where we are at right now, at 8 weeks out from the Chicago Pro. I'm starting to see some of the names of the guys that are going to be in the show, which makes me really excited. It's going to be another great show with amazing competition, but obviously I am coming for the win. Period. The end. Also, I shaved my head. I went with it. I'm starting to go with it. I'm trying a different look. I just wanted to see what it would look like. I hadn't gotten a haircut in a bit, and I was starting to look a little jacked up, in my opinion. And as I've been telling people that have asked me, I kind of went through a Britney Spears moment on Saturday, and I was like, you know what? I don't screw it. And I just cut it and shaved it. So going with the bald goatee for a little bit. See, a lot of people like it, so I think I'm gonna stick with it for a bit. I might even keep this into the show. It feels nice because I get to feel the air on my head when I'm outside. Living in Tampa, Florida, it's hot. It gets hot here, especially in our gym. We have air conditioning units that will turn on, but it gets really hot in there otherwise, which I love. But it's also nice to feel air on my scalp and let it get some sunlight so it matches the rest of me, so I don't just look pale on top of my head, which is pretty cool. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and for tuning in to episode 1 vlog of the Chicago Pro Prep Series, again brought to you by True Nutrition. And I'm gonna be doing these once a week at least, so you can bank on that, bank on one of these a week coming out, and I'll update you guys on what's going on with me in terms of all of the variables in my prep. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for following along. I genuinely appreciate it. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace. Weapon X out.